Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with a short Father's Day series. So this is going to be card number 1 of the series, and we will be using the Silhouette, and we will also be using the Spellbinder card creator dies. So we will be using the basic A and the basic B. So now, what does card number 1 look like? This is the card that we will be making. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so we're going to go ahead and start laying our pieces out on our mat. So now, this file that I have for the fisherman is actually a Silhouette Studio file, and I've already downloaded it to my library. So let's go to the library, and it is called Man Fishing. So if you go to the Silhouette online store, you'll see, type in Man Fishing, you should get this image, and you might get some more. So I'm going to go ahead and double click and added it to our mat. So now I want to make sure that these pieces fit within my card. So what I usually do, and I do this on the Gypsy as well, is I go ahead and make myself a template of a card front. So now, because I'm going to be doing this in layers, my card is actually a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. So I want to make the top layer that the fisherman is going to be on to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I just went ahead up to my draw rectangle and just put a rectangle on my mat. So we can go ahead now and resize this so that it is the size that I need. So my width is going to be 4.25, and the height is going to be, oh no, let's correct that, it's going to be 4 because this is going to be on our top layer, and our height is going to be 5.25, and then we'll just click apply. So now there is my top layer of my card. Now you won't be cutting this out unless you're just going to cut this in solid paper. I ended up using my card creator Spellbinder dies. You don't have to, in case you don't have those. I do give you the measurements for the Spellbinder dies when I do use them. So now we need the fisherman to fit on here. So as you can see, these are all one piece grouped together, and we're going to keep them like that while we're doing our resizing. So I'm actually using this measuring by using this piece right here, the fisherman and the boat. So what you'll do is you'll just keep making it larger and larger, and that's about right, because we need to be able to fit our Happy Father's Day on there. I might make it just a little bit smaller, and I'm just grabbing the handles and moving it around so I can make sure it's gonna fit, and that looks about the size that I want it to be. So now you can go ahead and start ungrouping your pieces. So what I do is I click on the image, and then I can right click and click ungroup, or I can go down to the bottom here and click ungroup. So now, as you can see, our pieces should be all ungrouped. And then if I really want to see what that's going to look like, I can go ahead and add my fisherman. So now the next thing we'll do, and then you can go ahead and start laying out your pieces on your mat the way you want them and how you're going to cut them and so forth. And I've already done that on my mat over here. So this is what mine ended up looking like. I put my pieces together as to the color of cardstock that I was going to be using. Now for the Happy Father's Day, that is a free cut file that I got off of this website. It is called creatorpopupcards.com, and what I'm going to do is put the link to this, where I got the Happy Father's Day from, in the description bar, because if I give you just portions of the link by telling you what it is, it's a lot to type in. So I'm just going to give you the link. So if you look down here, there are several versions of the Happy Father's Day. Now, she gives you the SVG file as well as the studio file. So when you click on her link down here, you will get, if you're using SureCuts a lot and make the cut, I don't know what those file extensions are, but you get that as well. So you can just click on that link and then follow the steps to download it to your computer. Now what I want to show you, when you download this to your computer and then open it up as a studio file, and what I'm going to do is, because I made some changes here, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I chose the studio version rather than the SVG version. It just made it easier that I wouldn't have to go through adding the cut lines and so forth. So when I click on that, it's going to open up. It may take just a few minutes. So now it opens it up, and as you can see, it is opening as one document. Or, I'm sorry, I said document because I work with computers all day, so that's what I'm thinking. So since we only want this Happy Father's Day right here, you think that you would be able to right click on this and choose ungroup. But as you can see, group and ungroup are grayed out, so I can't do anything with that. And I'm gonna go ahead and, once again, you know, I like to reveal my mat, so I'm gonna do that real quick. So you're wondering, how do I get this so that I only get the Happy Father's Day that I want? Well, it goes back to what I've learned about the right click and release compound path. When you click on this, that then ungroups them. I don't know how that works, but I've found that that's what works for me. I'm not clear on what the releasing compact really is, and I guess I have to do a lot more research on what it actually is doing, but I got it to work, so that's what I did. So now I can take and move the pieces the way I want to my card. So what I'm actually going to do, because I'm going to be resizing this, is I'm going to go ahead and grab everything for the particular Happy Father's Day that I want, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to group that together. And in that way I can resize it whatever size I want. So to get this on my mat to cut and resize, I'm just going to right click again, and I'm just going to do a copy rather than a cut. And I'm going to bring it over to this mat by right clicking again and clicking paste. So from here you can do your resizing by resizing the handles and put your Happy Father's Day however you want. Now I want them kind of separate, so I'm first going to make sure I got the size that I want, and then I'm going to go ahead and ungroup and then regroup them, each word together again, so I can have my happy here and make sure I got my fathers, and it looks like that's already, and do that and select, make sure I select all of it, and then click group. And then I can move the fathers, so I'm going to have it line up like so. And then I'm going to take my word day, and always remember to group everything back together, or I'm going to move this just for a second so I can group this. And we'll line this back up again. And I'm going to have my word day there. And that's just what I do when I'm working with the Gypsy and doing my designing. So that's it. So now go ahead and add this file to your mat and download the file for the Happy Father's Day, and add everything to your mat and go ahead and cut it out and meet me back at the table and we'll put this card together. And this is paper piecing, so if you're not a fan of paper piecing, you're not going to want to make this card. Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and start bringing up the supplies. So this one is a quick one and pretty easy. So now my card measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've taken and scored it to make it a 4.25 by 5.5 inch card. So now what I've done is I'm using the Spellbinder card creator dies, and we're using the basic A and the basic B. So don't worry if you don't have these. I'm going to give you the measurements. And my cardstock, this is just some Recollections cardstock, and this cardstock here is some of the Joanne Fabric textured cardstock. So now this layer measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And if you are using the card creator die, this is letter A1, which is the largest size. So let's go ahead, since we're not adding any ribbon, we're going to get some tape on here, and we're going to add this layer to the card. So I'm going to open up my card, and then I'm just going to place my layer down. Like so. And press down. So now, our next layer, we are using the card creator, the basic B. And this is letter B1, and it measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. And this cardstock is from a paper pack that is Paper Studios. It's called Stonewash, and I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. So now we're going to go ahead and add this layer as well. So we'll get our tape on here, and then we can add this layer to the card. So let's line this up. It does have some writing, little writing on it, so we just want to make sure we don't put it on there upside down. And now we'll add that. So now let's go ahead and add our fisherman and the boat. Now I've gone ahead and put everything, pieced it together, and as I said, this card is a paper piecing, so if you don't like paper piecing, you're not going to like making this card. I thought I didn't like paper piecing either, but for some reason I'm starting to like it. So, and I've popped it up on some foam tape. So he just sits down inside like so. So for right now, I'm just going to lay my pieces out because I got to make sure I have enough room to get my Happy Father's Day on there. So we're going to lay that one out. And then we're going to take his fishing pole, and that kind of lines up like so. And then we're going to put our Happy Father's Day on, and I'm kind of lining this up in an angle here like that. And then we'll add the word day down here. And then we can't forget we have to put our water on, so we're going to line that up right there. And then we'll add our fish, but now remember, I didn't cut the fish out even though they do come with the cut file because I'm going to be doing something different. So I'm going to start laying out my pieces, and I'm going to start with the wording first. So let's get our happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. I make so many birthday cards, I'm thinking I'm making a birthday card. But this time, this one is a Father's Day card. So let's get the word happy on here. And we'll line that up and place that right there. And then we'll add our fathers. And we'll place that right there. And then we'll add the word day. And I'm going to place that one right. Oops, let me pull that up. Get that a little straight. Day right there. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my pieces, and then I'll come back with the finished card. Okay, everybody, so I am back with the finished card. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and over here on the side I've added these. They're called candy. I picked these up last year at a scrapbook expo, and I actually forgot I had them, so they could take the place of me being able to add the bling that I can't add. And then for my fish, as you can see right here, what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken these Recollections pop-up stickers that I found at Michael's, and they come on a square and they have a sticky back, but what I did was I just cut the square piece off and cut the shape of the fish, and then I took the glue gun and added those onto the card. And then for my water, I did take some of my glossy accents and put that on the water just to give it a dimensional effect. And then I went ahead and I used my new envelope punch board that I got from Skylar for my birthday and made my envelope. And I have to say, it is a lot easier to make envelopes with this. And I also went ahead and took from this stamp set by Stampin' Scrappin' that I picked up at Joann's, I went ahead and stamped out the Happy Father's Day. And these stamps go with the Spellbinder dies. And this is the Labels 2 die. You can also use the Labels 4 and the Labels 8 with this stamp set. And I'm going to take it out, but it does have a glare, so I apologize for that. So they kind of look like this, and they have different wording on them. And that's how I made my Happy Father's Day to put on my envelope. So that's it, everybody. This is day number 1 of my Father's Day series. So come on back for day number 2. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.